don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select 1 team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Bronco Nation, welcome back to the Riley and Ridge Show, now presented by Jackson's. We're back. Come on. Big time for us, and we're excited to do that. We're back at the James today. I'm Riley Smith, former Boise State tight end, here with legendary football coach Kent Riddle, and we got a great one tonight. It's former Boise State O-line coach Brad Bedell. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, appreciate it. There's a pool in the pond, so Jackson decided to support the pond, huh?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Caddyshack reference, Rid. Let's just start early.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Great support from Jackson's. It's a big deal. Jackson's one of the best supporters of Boise State football. Idaho company, huge, one of the largest companies in Idaho, actually employs more people than Albertsons. And
really,
yep.
Not to mention when you
story.
go into Jackson's, how nice they are.
Absolutely.
So nice.
Great company. So thank you to John Jackson, Corey Jackson, Todd Michael, for supporting the show, taking care of us. I think we're going to get them supporting the post-game show a little bit.
That'll be great.
Because I heard a rumor that they were loving supporting, they just like the vibe on the post-game show.
I would
Let's
too.
go that.
Yeah, how could you not?
But yeah, awesome people, awesome company. Very fired up that they're a part of Bronco Nation News, and yeah, taking care of the viewership out there. I think they got a couple of things coming up.
Yeah,
that we may or may not know about, but
sure.
I think sacks are always a big thing. I think DJ Schramm was on that plan last
Banana
year. And then, something about a bundle.
NIL deal. They just announced an NIL deal. They announced the players, the NIL deal. They announced that this afternoon.
I'm trying not to leak stuff. But
it was on Twitter.
Okay, so
if it's on Twitter, it's true.
Ahmad,
they agree with that.
Ahmad and Breezy.
Quarterback can't pick in one-on-ones. He's horrible. Haven't you been to fall camp practice?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It will be fun though, because now I can talk to those guys and make sure they're on their A game, so we can take advantage of everything that Jackson has to offer.
Well, hey, from a guy that's in there getting a Diet Coke like every day,
it's true.
Yeah, that's
no
a big deal. So let's see if we can do something to bring the cost of the Diet Coke extra large
for sure
down a little bit.
It's good timing too, because I think Jackson's during fall camp, especially where the Boise State football team is probably their hottest customer.
Let's not I don't believe Zins are outlawed, but I assume that's their biggest selling product.
That is
the Boise State football.
Yeah, clearing the shelves.
I heard a rumor that Zin
18 and
was
over. For the 18 and over players.
having trouble meeting production demands nationally.
Yep.
So I assume that's part of it.
Right. I'm waiting to see the first Zin NIL deal. And it's probably coming up eventually.
Can't you see the ad? Hey, when you're in meetings, have an upper decky. Brought to you by Zin. I mean, that's what I would do.
It'd be perfect. It would be
loud. I can already see the NIL commercial.
right.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
That's awesome.
we got questions already.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you guys ask us many questions. This is going to be a great one. So, Ryan McCallum says, thoughts on the O-line? Any standout surprises from camp?
Well, first of all, I got to make sure I'm 100% clear. I haven't been to practice, right? So that's not. I can't say anything in that regard. But I would say it's going to be. I think besides running back, in my opinion, it's wide receivers deep. I would say between wide receiver and O-line are the second deepest position group coming in, with Dooley coming back, Mason Randolph coming back, Casey coming back. They got to find an answer at right tackle, or are they going to make
Roger carry on?
Right. Are they going to make a movement in that regard?
Right.
I think what you got to find out is who's going to be your right guard.
Yep.
And who is going to be your backup center or swing inside?
Right.
Because, and I love the kid. I helped recruit Mason here.
Yeah.
He hasn't stayed healthy through a season.
Right.
So if he could stay healthy through a season, in my opinion, you have one of the best interior offensive linemen in the Mountain West
100%.
Conference.
He's an NFL guy.
He's an NFL guy. I mean,
So is
freshman
Ben Dooley.
All-American.
Yeah. So
Ben Dooley is an NFL guy, but I really think Mason is an NFL guy. So I think they're deep. They got to find that swing tackle.
Yep.
They got to find 7. Our goal coming out was who's our top 8.
Yeah.
Right. For everybody out there, you don't travel 15 linemen to an away game in conference, especially because you have limited numbers.
For sure.
So you got to find out. You got to feel real comfortable. Who's your top 8, which is going to be your starting 5, your swing tackle, your interior. And then who's the all catch-all guy?
Yeah.
And I've heard nothing but rave reviews about the junior college transfer. And I'm sorry his name's slipping me right now, but I've heard he is just a man of a man.
Yeah.
So this is kind of everything I've read on paper and recruiting and all that, but I need to go out there and watch him practice a little bit. But I've heard rave reviews about that junior college transfer.
Definitely. Yeah, it's been cool to see those guys kind of grow up. I mean, Dooley came in and Mason, they were all young guys in our eyes. And then seeing them be the way they are now and being able to start kind of taking over as leaders.
No doubt. And the amount of football they've played.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're looking at Dealer's 6th year.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I can still remember sitting at Dooley's house and he had 30 people at dinner. And I'm like, he's like, sorry, coach. I go, no, don't apologize. And he was an All-American wrestler.
Yeah.
He unbelievable GPA. He's already graduated.
Yep.
Well, Mason played with Cardona.
Yeah.
Right. So Cardona's probably pushing for that backup center job now.
Yeah.
And so Mason's a big man now.
He big boy.
Big
boy.
And so and I think he's coming to this camp healthy, which he had to have some things taken care
he's
of.
got like old guy strength.
He
gets his hands on
Oh, yeah.
and it's over.
They're just meat hooks.
Yeah.
And he's just functionally strong, and I think their weights are good right now. And I mean, I don't know the strength conditioning coach at all.
Ben Hildegard. He's done a freaking awesome
phenomenal job. Phenomenal job.
Amazing.
They looked apart, as well. A lot of spring, and they just needed to get some kids healthy coming out of spring. They have, so the training staff's done their job, and now they're all ready to go in fall camp. And let's be honest, guys, you need about a 4-inch hole to get Genty through.
Yeah. You don't
what makes an O-line look great is a great running back and a quarterback that gets rid of the ball.
Yeah, big time.
And that's when this place has been very blessed with his running backs.
Yeah.
And some great offensive linemen. I'm not taking away from that.
No.
But they complement. They complement each other.
Right.
And really, so do the receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks. They all fit into that.
Yeah.
Like that's been the biggest thing here at Boise State always figured out how to complement each other.
Agreed.
And guys play off each other, and they all make each other better. Like the synergy of the whole thing.
There's no doubt.
And yeah, I mean, I guess offensively at Boise State, maybe the running backs have had more success in the NFL, but it's always been a group thing.
It's the family.
Yeah.
It's that Boise State family.
Yeah.
And the tight ends have had great success.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the way back to the kid I played in Houston with, Jeb Putier.
Jeb Putier. Yeah.
I mean, that's a
shout
long
out
time
Jeb.
ago now. That's a long time.
Longest or most tight end touchdowns at the time. It was only 2002 or something.
The running backs, the tight ends.
That's awesome.
The wide receivers, coming in. The one thing I noticed in spring, they have their length. They're long now.
Oh yeah,
they're long, which puts a big stress on your 5'9" corner that the Mountain West is going to have.
Well, the only short guy on the entire offense is Ashton.
Oh yeah,
and that's the guy everybody's most scared of.
Yeah, well,
and maybe Mad Dog.
I can't see him.
yeah.
Well, can't see him. I mean, the guy's like, what's he weigh?
220.
Yeah, in what 2% body fat.
Yeah,
he's a good football player.
He is, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. Hey, we did get a comment here, and be remiss not to mention this kind of up front, but Boise State announcing Jeremiah Dickey's extension today.
Mm-hmm.
That phenomenal, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Riley and I were probably around. Brad missed Jeremiah for most of it, but I mean, you talk about leadership and a guy that just exudes confidence and moving forward. Guy's phenomenal. Can't be excited enough to know that he's going to be here leading the team for a long time.
No doubt. And the players are all behind him too in every sport. He's done so much across the board that everybody wants to play for him. And
football gets publicized, right?
For sure.
I saw a video the other day, like the women's soccer team, new locker room, he's done lights, scoreboard.
Right.
We got a new scoreboard at the softball field. I mean, I mean, you talk about a guy that's just like growing the Broncos.
Attendance.
Oh,
Attendance.
Huge. Look at the ticket sales this year. Season ticket sales are up by 3,000 tickets.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What he did for basketball, packing that arena.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it was almost sold out versus New Mexico last year. And I don't want to bring out that game because it's a long night and all that. And they won all that. And we all know what happened. But it's packed.
Yeah.
We weren't playing for that big of a pack versus New Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best recruit of all of the year.
And to lock him down for a while, I think is huge. And obviously Jeremiah loves being here, loves leading the Broncos, but I think that's something that can't be overstated in terms of the best recruit the Broncos signed this year.
No doubt.
And culture
kept him out of the transfer portal.
Exactly. And culture of an athletic program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and everybody that wants to say Boise special, we know Boise special, but a community that cares, that wants him here.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
That's what matters. Those things that matter.
And for everybody to recognize all the things he's done and all that.
Sure.
So
and the plans he has too. And so him being here and able to implement those plans, and he's backed up every time he says he's going to do something. So it fires me up.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I mean, you talk about a guy that's just like not good with complacency.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, hey, that's what we did like that's not even kind of his thinking. He's like, okay, well, here's where we're at today. How can we be better tomorrow?
For sure.
And I think that's a tremendous deal. So,
there's no doubt. The growth of the programs.
Yeah. So want to recognize that first and foremost. But let's see what else we got. What kind of offensive sets can we expect from Dirk? I don't think it's going to look a lot different.
It's not going to look a lot
formations. Different. He might use a fullback a little bit more.
Which will be exciting.
Yeah, and certainly have the people on there, which will always come out of the tight end room.
Right.
Oh, well, I say that Tyler Crow's, I think, going to be that guy this year. So we can get Tyler
He's been
Crow
doing some of that anyways, especially with like when Talon was here, him, Ashton, and Talon in the backfield was always exciting. And Crow, we kind of brought him into the tight end room because he definitely earned that spot for sure.
Very much a part of that tight end mentality, right?
Definitely.
So I think, I would expect the same. I mean,
it'll be similar.
I think on first and second down. So we always inside the offices, I guess, for lack of a better term, talk about rundowns, which 1st and 10 or 2nd and 6 or less. I think you're going to see way more 12 personnel or 21 personnel.
Yep.
Which 2 tight ends and a running back, or 2 running backs and a tight end, and then obviously the 2 receivers.
Yep.
And then third down is going to be way more 11 personnel, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back.
Oh, yeah.
So I would expect it to look very similar.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't. That in creating matchups.
Now, whatever the plays might be a little bit different, but not much, right?
No. I think where Dirk's coming from is it's hard to get mismatches in the National Football League. Right. The goal is, can I get a tight end and a safety in the NFL?
Yeah.
Right. Or can I get a tight end and a linebacker in man?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, now it's like Dirk's probably sitting there like, you're telling me if we shift in motion, I can get this guy or a wheel route that nobody covers in the NCAA.
Yeah.
Mark my words, week 1, you're going to see more wide receivers catch wheel routes for touchdowns. They don't cover them on the backfield if you're a man team.
Never.
But he's going to look for mismatches, shift in motion. That's what it gives you.
Yeah.
It creates mismatches.
Definitely.
Creates an extra gap for the run game. The other thing is what you have to have. It doesn't matter on the quarterback or whatever. You need play action because everybody's scared to death of Boise State to run the football this year.
100%.
So your shots come after play action, your quarterback movements, get the quarterback out of the pocket, don't get him hit a lot. Flats, get the ball to the tight end, create those types of things.
Even just those linebackers or safeties taking one step up to go for the run. It's
routes over the top, playing cover 2 on a post.
Yep.
Things like that. It's done.
It's done.
I mean, you're looking at explosive plays.
Yeah.
More explosive plays, more points on the board, you're going to win ball games.
Absolutely.
And Coach Cutter's always been about that. I mean, he's like, hey, why should we throw a 5-yard hitch? We can run the ball for 5 yards or throw it for 50.
Yep.
That
makes it fun too. And it's always creative plays too, which makes it interesting. And guys know their plays and have them, and they know the big ones are coming. So you go dog out on the run game knowing that opportunity is going to come. And that was one of my favorite times of the game.
And that's why I love fall camp right now, because the wide receiver, Coach Miller's saying this, don't make us take us out of the game for another running back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Right.
That's what camp's about.
So that's something we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. No. That's a good segue to get us there. Just like competition at this point. You're competing offense, defense, tight end versus DN, whatever. But there's also competition within your unit to find your role, right? One of the big things Boise State's always been about is star in your role, and then build your role, right?
Right.
And we've had guys over a lot of years be thinking like, oh, I'm going to just get really good at this.
Right.
And then as coaches, the challenge was to find, hey, if this guy's really good at this, what else could he do for us to help us win?
Absolutely.
And finding a way to plug those guys in to do that. And I think there's always been guys that have done that, right?
Oh, there's no doubt.
I mean, you could probably, I know I could identify a lot, but
look at the running back game. If you can't catch the ball as a running back at Boise State, you're not touching the field.
Yeah.
Because empty.
Well, and unless you can be a great pass protector.
Oh, right. But then
and then
every time that kid's in the game, they're throwing the ball 90% of the time.
Right.
You're running it. You know what I mean? It's not.
There's always kind of been that, like, star in your role, and then
For sure.
I'm trying to think who was the guy a couple of years ago. We knew we had not thrown the ball or run the ball with him in the game forever. We handed it to him. He ripped it up the middle.
Yeah.
25 yards on like 3rd and 6.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that's part of the challenge of coaching is figuring out what a guy can do and then building them up in other ways so that he can help you.
Yeah. And to your point too, like how to find ways to counter off that. Like if you're a blocking tight end or a blocking wide receiver and that's all you're doing, and then building in your role and learning to do other things, then you go and you bluff the block and run a route and
percentages, run past percentages. Now with PFF, it literally for everybody, I think they talk about PFF like in the National Football League, right? They're on TV and says, oh, PFF says X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Well, PFF literally, if you give like, let's say Riley, you were on the field, they have some guy, he's tracking your every move.
Yeah.
Where he is in formation, what is his run pass ratio?
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden at the end of the day, it spits out. And all that information, you got to pay a heavy fee, which all these schools pay now.
Yeah.
Is okay. Hey, when Riley Smith's in the game, when this number is in the game, they're 89% run or 89% pass.
Yeah.
Right. So now where are you going? I'm going cover 2. I'm going this. I'm going that. Okay, if it's run, I'm going cover 4. I'm going to play a man free because I'm going to play the percentages.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important, breaking those percentages. And let's all go back to where we started. This is dirt cover and sets, right?
Yeah.
Play action out of 12, play action out of 21. And then all of a sudden put 4 wideouts in the game, start running some zone read, which Mad Dog, both him and Malachi can do.
Absolutely.
It's just playing percentages and in your tendencies.
One of the other questions we have here is Connor Gilbreth going to challenge Louder for reps at tight end, and I would defer to Riley, but I think Matt Louder is going to be on the field most of the time.
Yeah,
that guy's going to be a special tight end.
He really is,
and it's not taking away anything from Connor.
Yeah,
I hope the best for him. I just think Matt's going to be a special player.
No doubt. No doubt.
We got JB in the league doing big things.
Yeah,
and Matt's probably going to be the next guy.
For sure. No doubt. And I see that coming in his future as well. And like we were saying, like it is good to have that competition during fall camp and having guys like that come in and help push Matt so he doesn't get complacent after having the success he had last season. So and when that happens, like it's a long season, you never know what's going to go on, and you play multiple tight ends at once. So he'll have his moment for sure. But
and pushing it, right, Riley? Yeah. I mean, like we go to fall camp, you move to quarterback.
Yeah.
We push you. It's like awesome. We know you can run. We know you're big. We know you're long. Can you block?
Right.
So 9-on-7 comes down. It's like, all right, but you gotta crack your head a little bit.
9-on-7 because that's how the defense plays it, not
right?
The offense.
But you got to crack your head a little bit.
Oh yeah, it was like it felt like Rudy. Like I was going against Jabril and Sam Witt, and they were just tossing me to the ground for.
But how much did you learn?
So much.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like everybody trust me, I'm on social media too and all that.
Yeah.
It's like the quarterback threw a pick in 7-on-7 and you're like, well, don't you want him to throw that pick? Where do you want him?
Right.
You want him to test it. Can I get that ball in that hole? Can I get it through that safety? Can I do this?
Definitely.
That didn't happen there or versus at Oregon or at Georgia State or Southern. Sorry, excuse me. That's what you out of your comfort zone.
7-on-7 is designed for that. It's designed to see like, hey, where can I do it?
Right.
Where can I? What's my limitations?
Yeah.
Like even in the NFL, like
no doubt,
that's where you should throw interceptions.
Yeah.
1-on-1 and 7-on-7. Shouldn't throw it in team, but if you are, throw it in practice.
Right.
But I mean, that's
it's across the board. Like even running routes for us, we would try different techniques, and sometimes it would fail and you would get locked up, but. If it worked, you know that you can do that. Yeah. You never want to try it in a game for the first time.
Yeah.
So.
I laugh at like I see I still get all on Twitter like all these trainers videos or whatever. I'm like, hey dog, that's a sweet route.
Right.
I'm not sure how long you think the quarterback has to throw it.
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
That's the other thing about 7-on-7. They can back there and have a pack of Marlboros and feel real comfortable. But it's the way it is. It's you get them out of your comfort zone, and it also helps the evaluation through camp.
Yeah.
What can he do? What can't you do? So now as you build game plans,
and you have to figure out like as a coach, like you're even coaching that, like, hey, that was a sweet move. I feel you. Like that was really cool.
Yeah.
Just, the quarterback was sacked 8 minutes ago.
Right.
On your 17th stutter step coming off a press, you're done. Let's just stutter step, wipe the hands, take the 9, catch the ball for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, we're
what was our guy?
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit ain't working. I mean,
it's facts. And like even the 7-on-7 coming out of high school, I remember Coach Rid was on Tyneal every single day about the toe drag. And even though it looks sick, it was.
It's like jumping to catch the ball when nobody's around. Why are you jumping?
Right.
Well, I thought it'd be cool. Well, you know what? It ain't real cool because you're going to end up getting carted off.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome.
They'll visit you in the hospital though. It'll be sweet, but we'll see you in the hospital.
Oh yeah. Bedell, how about during fall camp? Because you probably have one of the best rooms with the most characters. I mean, it's never a dull moment, especially during meetings. So kind of take us through that and like your relationship with the guys during camp and kind of playing both roles. And...
Well, fall camp, that's a great question. So fall camp is a little bit different. So the way I designed everything is I went in, we had install meetings and then practice, right? So install it's a meeting now. You're installing everything that's going on. You have the young guys and the older guys go to practice, and we came back and had our film review.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please. And
we're good.
And so,
we're always good.
I always walked into the first thing, and I always said this. I said, if you're in, I started. Okay, here's your starting 5 for today. Here is the backup, and then so they had to work in order. And your left tackle sat next to left guard, center, right guard, right tackle, and then went back.
Right.
Learn from
That's
each other.
very O-line-ish. Have to sit in order.
It is.
Because tight ends, like
it's all over.
Right. So I said, I always walked in and I said, hey, young guys, you can ask questions, but about the install. I don't care if we gave up a tackle for loss on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to so that was a real meeting too.
Yeah.
So then we came back and had afternoon practice, and then here came the night practice.
Yep.
So the older guys at the night practice is like watching paint dry. They're like, and they're laughing half the time. They're like, oh my God, this guy sucks.
and this was in the days of veterans rookies.
To rookies, right? Veterans to rookies. Because once the veterans came back, some of those rookies aren't getting a whole lot of reps.
For sure.
Never.
Right. So the night one came in, and I made it a point. I said, guys, it's fall camp. And I had a sign in front of my door and said, leave your ego out the door because it can go down in here real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And so when they came in, I always left the first 10 minutes was BS. We're laughing. We're having a good time. It's just because camp it's a grind. It's just day after day after day. And it used to be a lot worse than it is now.
For sure.
But you got to give those kids some time to just come into a meeting, have some great laughs. And the other thing, it makes the room better. It makes them tighter. I'm telling stories. I'm not telling all the stories, but I'm telling stories. You're telling stories. And then when we
none of those stories should ever be shared.
Absolutely not. No, there's some things you just don't talk about, right?
Yeah.
But and then I'm like, guys, today was, and I graded it.
Oh, yeah.
And I would go, Ezra, you were good. John, you were good. Larson, you were shit rotten.
Yeah.
And if you don't watch it, you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
Because and then Queso or Archie or something like this. But that's also how in the room, I wanted people to feel real threatened.
Yeah.
Real threatened.
Oh, yeah.
Some guys are just never going to get threatened. So now you got to teach like John or Ezra. Here's a great one. Ezra, you won the rep. Yeah. Where you're going, you're going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Right. John, where you're going, you're going to get your ass kicked. Things like that where now you got to push them against themselves because we haven't built that there.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't at that point. I mean, you're looking at 2 veteran now O-line guys and one who got paid.
Yeah.
So with Larson, I can always push that. And he was the guy in the room. He's a little bit like me where he feed it off. Okay. Yeah. Well, when he left the room, probably said, I mean, I love the guy, but I wish he'd jump off the building, which is fine. That's fine. So when things like that happen, if you don't,
that's part of it, though, right? Like,
yes,
you got to have that relationship where you can have real criticism.
Yeah.
sure.
And the player doesn't take it like, oh, he hates me.
Yeah,
But it's just like,
And as a
no,
coach,
that's
yeah.
what I have to do better.
for sure.
And spend time like you.
And
Like
as a-
I would hope to God, Ty Neal never thought I hated him,
Yeah.
but I was on him on the toe drag like
Yeah.
every rep.
Yeah.
right.
Stop it.
But it's
For
also
sure.
the
Looks cool.
the
Slow down.
wherewithal. But the wherewithal as a coach is knowing, oh boy, I need to hang him back a little bit. I need to
Yeah.
get my arm around him a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Because you beat a dog so down, he ain't never gonna come up,
For
right?
sure. And I think that's something both of you guys did good too, is like outside of meetings, outside of football, building that relationship and that foundation with people is like when I hear something from a coach that doesn't really talk to me or care much, then it's not coming from a place that I want to receive it. But like you guys, if you guys came and got on my ass, then
Sure.
I would be like, they're coming from a place of love and they just want me to be better. So I think that's a huge difference.
Well, so
But when it left the room, it left the room.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It left the room. It's like a football. If you have a fist fight on practice, you don't go fist fight in the locker room. It's over.
at bad places you do.
At bad places
Yeah,
you do.
but here that was huge.
But culture here, you don't bring it in there. It's over, right? So I may have ripped your ass. If I get you back, hey man, you know I love you, but it's just not good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Tomorrow I want to see something different. But to bring it back, if you don't give those guys the 10 to 15 minutes to have a laugh and reprieve and things like that,
because at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff happens that's funny.
Right.
Like it wasn't planned. It wasn't anything. It's just like it's funny.
Yeah. Right.
So, like you
were
pretend
shitty.
it's
Sorry,
not-
you were shitty.
You can't pretend it's not funny.
Exactly.
Everybody's gonna laugh at us.
Everybody.
Hey,
And you
let's-
know it's coming all day too. You're
Yeah.
waiting for that meeting. You're like, they're about to laugh at
Oh, and
all meeting.
And the other thing, and I think that this has changed, is when I was a player and you're a player, I bet just, and I can guarantee if you ask the other guys that played for me, if you knew you made a mistake on a play and it was embarrassing, you were praying it didn't come up on film.
Especially team meetings.
Yes. And you're sitting there sweating.
But now, like nothing's missed.
They
There's
don't,
eight views of like every play.
Right, no, but you
it's
had
on there somewhere.
like you're having the BGs. Like this thing's coming.
Oh, it's
This thing's coming. I'm done. It's gonna be laughed at or be made fun of or this. Some kids now, I just don't know if they're like, yeah, whatever it happened. It's
Yeah.
okay.
We need a few more
no.
questions coming
Sickening,
in.
for sure.
Yeah.
What was it like in meetings, Bedell? Because I know you had a push-up board.
Yeah.
And you had some consequences for the guys.
Yeah.
Can you kind of take us through that?
Sure. So if you had a penalty, so a false start, so it was every push-up for how many yards?
Yeah.
So 5 for false starts, 10 for holding. That was subjective.
Yeah.
Like if it was one of these jackass officials in a scrimmage called them holding, I'm like, that's not holding. We're moving on.
Yeah.
A sack was 25. In the game, it was 50. A tackle for loss.
Yeah.
So before all you guys jump in, the Troy game in 17, I get it. There's a lot of push-ups in that room. And so personal fouls.
Yeah.
Personal fouls, I ate. I did. I was like, sometimes you just kind of need to play,
Yeah.
right? You got to reestablish your dominance in the run game.
Sure.
So if you
There
pancake,
were a couple that were like, yeah.
yeah, well, they may have done push-ups, they may not. But like Ezra did push-ups when versus BYU at the end at home. I think this was 18 or maybe 19. He hit a guy so late. I'm like, dude, yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
you're done. Yeah, like I got you. That was the stupidest thing ever. And you almost got kicked out of the game right before half.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're in Coach Carson. I didn't know if he was ever going to play in the second half.
Yeah.
So like that's different.
It was a little late.
You mean the team walking into the locker room and Ezra just dumped a guy? But that's that edge. Like, where are we going to carry an edge?
Oh yeah.
And if you don't have an edgy offensive line, you're done.
For sure.
True.
You're done.
It's been said 1,000 times, right? But the O-line is the biggest position group on the team.
Yeah.
And generally the toughest guys. So as your O-line goes,
You go.
that's how you go.
Yeah,
definitely.
And hey, trust me, being a guy that's coached tight ends and running backs, I mean, the O-line gets blamed for a lot of shit.
Yeah.
That may or may not be their fault. And there's even more to it that goes into that, like, oh, tight end misses block, running back misses block. Well, quarterback held onto the ball way too long.
Yeah.
Receiver ran the wrong route, causing the quarterback. I mean, it's easy to blame the O-line,
Right.
Now, if the nose guard gets turned loose,
right.
yeah, I mean,
It's a problem.
that's probably a big deal. But
Or Archie Lewis had 500 push-ups in one meeting, all-time record, because I also gave personal fines.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So if it's a technique we've worked, I let him work a week. I was like, hey, I'm giving you the warning. You're about to go to a personal fine. Personal fines were 25 push-ups or sit-ups for Archie because Archie's body was just destroyed. I said, okay, you're going to go on the board. Are we agreed? We're agreed. So we've agreed on this. And if it's agreed upon, it's set in stone.
For sure.
Archie, 25. Archie, 25. Archie, 25. He was sweating.
Yeah.
And finally, there was guys like, hey, coach, can we do a couple of push-ups to get it off of him? I was like, it's your O-line. It's not mine.
Yeah.
You guys make your decision as the leadership in this room if you're going to help. And all of a sudden, all these guys start doing push-ups. And Ezra goes down, does one push-up. He goes, Archie, I got you by one. Mason was like Mason was freaky strong.
Yeah.
Mason was just pumping him out. And Archie's like, thanks, guys. Thanks. I appreciate it. But that's an older guy in the room. He also knew all these younger guys, they had his back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we came out of that room, and I'll never forget. I was sitting there, and I went in, kicked my feet up, and I started laughing.
Yeah.
And I forgot who came in. They go, what are you laughing at? I go, I got him where I want him.
Yeah.
And that happened. I said, I got him where I want him. We're going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
We're going to win this thing. We're going to be perfectly fine because older guys need to know the younger guys got them. The younger guys need to know the older guys got them. That's what fall camp's all about in the course of a season.
Yeah. And I always thought it was funny because freshman year, we had like Garrett Kern and Kate Connie and Dallas, and they would come out with just massive pumps and just dripping in sweat. I was like, what the hell happened in there? And they're like, we messed up all day today. Because that was back when we did the rookie practices.
Yeah.
And it was just mess up after mess up. But I always thought that was funny that you implemented that.
And they knew during the recruiting process, they saw the board.
Yeah.
I showed them everything. So they came here, what the culture of Boise State and Boise State O-line is.
No doubt. It did good for them. They look a lot better because of it.
It's a lot cheaper too in the NFL. I mean, the NFL, why I brought this, because the NFL, we got fined, but for money.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the year, we threw a party. 50% went to the O-line party, 50% went to a charity.
That's cool.
And so now I was like,
I guess that's one hell of a party.
great party.
Yeah.
I'm going to read every story can't be said.
Yeah.
But that's what, then I was like, you know what? I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it for push-ups because I'm not charging these kids money.
Right.
NIL period. Yeah, they're getting charged for money.
Yeah, now it's fair game.
Oh,
I know. Well, we had in our room, we had the little piggy bank.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And Stoney out there, he would set up a big chart with everybody's names. And every time you made a mental error, if you went the wrong way or ran the wrong route,
there are a few guys paid a lot of money.
And you would have to throw in quarters. And then I remember it was filled up to the brim. And then I went back and it was completely gone and someone robbed it. But we were supposed to put it to a big party as well.
Yeah. Well,
we got robbed.
I'm sure it was replenished.
I did not rob it, but we did pay for the party. Yeah, we did pay for the party.
Right.
And by party, I mean barbecue.
Yeah, for sure.
So that actually brings up
Jackson's. You can thank all that money from Rid from the tight end room.
All of our errors.
Yeah, we should go back. We should go back and see.
That's where the 15 cases of the staff of the diet go.
That's probably what it was.
No. I would say go back and at that point check your Copenhagen sales.
Yeah, right.
Or
Stoney and G5.
We've had a few guys maybe sneak over and buy all over 21 buy adult beverages.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
For sure.
I think one guy in particular.
How dare they?
This goes back to the first stint. Might not be a tight end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Things happen. You move
what I'm
on.
talking about.
Yeah, things happen.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. Who knows who took it? Whatever, but might still be there somewhere.
So I gotta come clean. I chewed a lot of Copenhagen for free on the tight ends for a while.
Yeah, if we messed up a combo block, you're like, yeah, I deserve this.
Yeah, you deserve it. Yeah, thank God I got that money from you.
But one of the things we were talking about there is we talked about food.
Yeah.
All right, so these guys are in the middle of camp, grind. I think they're doing an unbelievable job with the schedule.
Yeah.
This year, the guys practiced yesterday morning, this evening, so they got a little bit extra break.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Practice yesterday evening, morning before.
Yep.
So a little bit of break. Day off today. Full pads tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So I think, they're doing an amazing job with that.
Definitely.
But best meal of training camp.
Well, I will say it's
you better come with the right answer.
It's probably the Brazilian steakhouse when we go do that.
Second best. And
you had the tight orders for dinner, right?
Mrs. Riddle might not be happy if you don't answer.
No, but that's probably the best. And that was my favorite thing about coming back to Boise too. Miss Riddle is the best cook we've ever had, and we would always go get home cooked meals, and that was probably our favorite time because we did a lot of trips over there, like Halloween, carving pumpkins and different stuff. We spent a lot of time at your house with a lot of great meals.
Absolutely, but I was just kidding.
It was
so
she's the best
on the regular. Like
I got to give her a credit.
And that's been a Boise State thing forever for
every position,
whether it was the O-line, whoever. Like having huge meals with players over, and those things aren't inexpensive, and the coaches absorb those. Like
now you know where your money came. Now you know where that piggyback went.
Again, that money should still be like I know where it was hidden.
The one night you guys ate fillets, you guys paid for that.
But anyway, I think that's always been a big deal. The bonding, getting to know the families, all that stuff. My daughter headed off to college. You actually know her. Billy Bowens, who's around here somewhere, came to a grad party. I think that's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Brad's
my family
knows all the players. OJ was the best babysitter.
My son, and
but anyway, I think that was always a special deal to come over to the house, especially in the middle of fall camp, and get a meal with your coaches, your teammates, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But okay, let's go outside of the coaches' cooking realm.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so Tucanos or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good spot because that was always after the hardest scrimmage.
Yeah.
And so it's like we earned this finally. Yeah. But over the time I played there, we had a lot of different places cater us, and throughout fall camp, it's kind of the same couple on rotation. I know Chick-fil-A was always a big hit because that always meant it was the end of the day and end of a scrimmage or something like that. So that was always awesome. But
old Chicago connection.
Yeah.
That was a big hit for the alignment.
That was huge.
That was a big one.
Anything with chicken wings.
Yeah, anything with chicken wings.
That was always after a scrimmage because I was always jealous because we had to sit there and grade the scrimmage at midnight. Right. And I'm like, dude, I want it. And they brought us a cold ass pizza.
Yeah, everybody thinks like, okay, scrimmage is over. Probably everybody's off. Like coaches are there till 1 a.m.
For sure.
Yeah.
That was a big hit. Yeah, it was fun.
Definitely.
Yeah, we have fun.
Yeah.
But that Chicago connection was a big hit.
That was a big hit.
That was a big hit.
They tore that up. I think it's cool too. Derek Harris said, do they still do winners getting steaks and losers get hot dogs after the spring fall camp scrimmages? We did that the first couple years for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, after the spring game.
Spring game was the time we usually did that.
Not really, because a lot of those things are
you don't break up
scripted.
But you don't break up the teams. We didn't break up teams.
Yeah.
Like that was a big one. You used to break up teams, and you had the blue, and now it's offense, defense, and it's skewed for the defense. So you'd lose.
Not that I've ever bitched about this before, but the spring scrimmage scoring format. I don't know how ridiculous. The offense can possibly win.
It's impossible.
So whatever.
Except this last year somehow.
No, we did.
No, the offense didn't win.
No, we didn't. I thought we.
No.
Was it the Idaho Ranchers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the best. Yeah.
So that was a summer thing. So the Idaho Ranchers,
probably the best meal.
It was awesome. Ever. So they brought in a big cooler of meat, and the O line and the D line had to compete for it, and it was just because they're the fatties. And the O line won it, and I almost burnt my house down because I was so stupid. I put like 7 ribeyes on the grill.
Yeah.
Well, it's all fat, so it just I had a ball of fire going.
Not all fat.
Yeah. So I had a ball of fire, and I'm like, Jessica, you're gonna have to go to Albertsons to get some more ribeyes. Because I had this whole thing of meat, and we cooked it all, and the D line won it one year, then the O line won it, and I thought that was a great deal.
That was really
and the O line really appreciated that.
Yeah, for sure. And it was fun challenges too, like the Oreo on the top of the head.
Yeah.
In their mouth. That was always fun to watch.
Yeah. Shout out to Whole Foods who really kind of put that on.
Yeah.
And they would bring all the ranchers from Idaho and Eastern Oregon over, and they would cook unbelievable ribeyes for the whole team.
Yeah.
And then
we'd have a competition.
Part of that. Yeah, it was
that was great.
That was
you'll like this.
One of the best meals you'll ever have.
Since we're talking about family meals. God, this is the first or second week I got into town. No, it was in the summer in 2017 when I got here. I had the O-line over at my house, and I've never heard of Luciano's Italian restaurant.
Oh yeah.
So I go over and I get a buttload of just chicken parm and spaghetti. Well, I got it on Thursday. We did Dex on Friday, right?
Yeah.
So I did night before Dex. And these guys are like, Coach, I'm going to puke. I go, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. That was the worst deck session of all time. And I wish I could get some of these guys on here because they were going to kill me. And
I can't imagine.
Yeah, Coach Harson comes and goes, God, the O-line struggles. Like, well, Coach, they probably ate about 6 fried chicken parmesans. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I had the whole O-line over for last night. He goes, can you not do that before deck day? And I'm like, I learned my lesson.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the first deck day. It was horrible. And I'm yelling at them. They're like, Coach, it's your fault.
Know what you did.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
So, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that, especially Luciano's for sure.
Oh, it's a little heavy. It's a little heavy for the boys.
It's a carb load and a half
food, though.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
Sure.
What this is a good question, kind of a pivot, but what is the craziest home visit?
I saw that one. I think that there's different levels of home visits. Okay.
Right. You guys have ads?
What's that?
Are there no ads? I got You know what? It is you guys. Who said this question?
Lonnie McCann.
Yeah, I got one for you, Lonnie.
Yeah, you go think on it. And so I told you guys it was gonna be an interesting show for sure.
Can't script that.
You can't.
So there's different levels of crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so at Boise State, call the Ropain ad. So it's like different levels of crazy. I've been here a long time, so I've been a part of a lot of these.
Yeah, right.
There's some you think like when, oh my God, that was the best home visit of all time.
Yeah.
There's no way that guy's not coming here and he's out.
Yeah.
You're like, well, apparently I need to revalidate.
Yeah.
there's other ones you think like that couldn't have gone worse, and the guy's like, I'm in.
Yeah, crazy.
But I would say one of the crazier ones is way back. So we're recruiting a DB out of Southern California, and the head coach and myself and the DB coach are all there. And, you know, we'd been there about maybe 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the recruit's like, all right, hey, you guys have a good night. I'm out of here. Like, huh? Like, where are you going? He's like, yeah, I got something. Like, whatever. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Like, all right. Well, this did not go well.
Right.
And so kind of reevaluate, like, hey, maybe this guy's not a great fit for Boise State.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of do some background and talk to a couple of coaches that we know pretty well. And it's like, no, hey, you know, good kid, just needs guidance.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
whatever. So me and the DB coach go back for another visit, and he's like playing video games the whole time. Like, hey man, this is not going to work out.
Yeah.
Afterwards. And like 2 days later, he calls and is like, I need somebody to like tell me that stuff, not tell me how great I'm going to be, like whatever. And ended up coming to Boise State, and good things happen.
Yeah.
You know, for
awesome.
everybody. There's the other kind of home visit where not when I was coaching at Boise State, and you know, we're in this place, and everything was shut down. Basically, it was you know, kind of bad for the entire region, and sitting there, and one of the other coaches has to go use the restroom, and he's in the restroom, and one of the maybe younger siblings opens the door, walks in, like, oh, like, yeah, we're not getting that kid. and the best part was I was sitting on the living room couch with another coach, and this younger kid comes walking in, and like,
scarred for life.
Yeah, like, yeah.
So I got two. Went in. None of these were at Boise State, just so everybody knows that. So I'm in Dallas, Texas. And oh God. And I'm recruiting a young man. The Dallas Cowboys were playing on TV. The TV was so loud. And it was just me, thank God. And I'm like, Miss, and I'm not going to say names. Hey, can you turn down the TV so we can talk? And she's like, it's the Dallas Cowboys, coach. And I'm like, I understand that. But we're talking about your son's future. She's like, what do you care for? He's committed. And I'm like, well, you know, I just got to go over some things. I got to go over these papers and things. She's like, that's fine, whatever. She's watching him. Where gets a sack? She goes, you see that shit, coach? Well, what she forgot was her boob popped out. It was hanging out. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, and I'm kind of looking. She goes, coach, you see that? You see that? And I'm like, yes, ma'am, I saw it. Yes, ma'am, I saw it. And her daughter goes, Mama, your boob's hanging out. To her credit, she goes, coach, we just got closer. God bless your heart. Kid still came. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
And then another school, we were on our second dinner of the night. That's the other thing is these visits, if you're going every 5, they want to have you for dinner.
Yeah.
Well, we're on our second dinner of the night, and we're in Houston, and we're having shrimp scallop stew. You walked in, and the smell of the house meant one of these things ain't right. You can't not eat, right?
Right.
You have to actually either act like you're eating and all that. We eat some of it. And Coach walks out and he goes, Brad, we're about to be fucking sick, aren't we? And I go, yes, sir, we are. 10 minutes later, we're both outside the car, throwing up everywhere. Both had food poisoning the next day.
Yeah, I had that happen with the head man one time.
And you knew it. You knew. It's amazing what you'll do.
He struggled through to like get the home visit in, and we got both these guys, and they all ended up being damn good players. But like literally on the ride to the home visit, like I'm sick. Like he opens the door and like had to throw like legitimate flu, like nothing else. Especially if you knew the guy, like there's nothing else going on, and threw up. He championed it through like,
God,
and
man.
Both guys ended up playing a ton and being huge contributors, and it was like, hey, everybody's like, you guys want to stay? He's like, nope, gotta go. I'm
In
like,
and out.
no, like he needs to. Although I was a part, and I believe you were too, of the shortest home visit
Of all time.
in recruiting history for a guy that signed.
This guy signed. We were there for 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Now, to his credit, he'd been committed to us for a year. Colorado. He was with us for a year.
Maybe the 2 shortest home visits.
You good? I'm good.
We had a flight.
We had a flight.
Crazy.
Our flight got canceled from Austin to Dallas, so we ended up having to drive to Dallas.
Yeah.
And so instead of being there in an hour, it was 4 hours.
Yeah, right up 35.
So one
last day of recruiting.
both
day of recruiting.
Both of them had been committed forever. And it's like, hey, here's the papers. You good? You understand it? One guy's dad was in the athletics world and very
important,
very understanding, and he's like, yep, we're good. Go get your flight.
Yeah.
The other family, like, not sure if they totally understood it or not, but we didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
They came to Colorado. I missed a home visit because of a school lockdown, because of a threat of a school shooting.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was sitting there with the head coach. So we were talking about. He's like, "What am I in for tonight?" He's like, "An interesting evening." I was like, "I don't think we're gonna make it," because there was a school shooting close when the school ended, and I'm like, "Coach, I don't think I'm gonna make it." He goes, "Oh, the parents understand." I walk in. Dad goes, little shooting scared you, huh? And I'm like, I was at the school. He's like, they wouldn't let you leave? He's like, no. He's like, Coach, that happens all the time here. He's like, that's stupid. And I'm like, not in Boise. Not in Boise. That doesn't happen. That's why your son needs to come to Boise.
Yeah. It's a good selling point.
So that's one of those things like you kind of take for granted. Granted.
Yeah.
Shout out to those who know.
Came out that way every time ever since.
But it just that's part of the reason Boise State is such a special place.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a hard time recruiting guys here when they come out of different places.
Yeah.
Because they come here and they love it, and it's a special place. And you grew up obviously a very different environment than this.
Oh yeah.
But it's a fun place to go to school,
For sure.
right?
And it's so diverse too, which is cool. Like the team is from Florida, Cali, Texas,
Everywhere.
Washington.
Yeah.
It's all over. Like if you go to USC, it's probably mostly LA, SoCal kids.
Used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be, right.
And I'm glad you said that, Riley, because I don't want to get a soapbox right now.
Yeah.
But that's what we're missing in college football.
Yeah.
No, it's just fuck it, where I'm going for the money.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that people don't understand that you can implement the right. Spencer's doing the right thing. He said it. I'm doing it we're going to build kids up. We're going to do things right in X, Y, and Z. But those are the special things about college football. Sure. Not how much money you make with Jacksons, and I'm not them, but
no. But you're right. Like your college football should be about your experience,
definitely,
not about the money you make. Now, they've changed the rules. And so you should incorporate the money you can make.
Right.
I would agree.
But it should still be about your experience.
Yeah.
Sure.
It shouldn't be about, well, I got this much here and next year I'm transferring, I can get more here. And because you're not getting the experience.
Now it's
all
like
you're getting is the money.
Now it's like, hey, you remember when he took us to Ruth's Chris? Yeah. Or that's a great opportunity where things are involved right now. Now, when we came up, it was like we went to Red Robin and things like that.
Yeah.
It was like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with Red Robin or anything like that. But
if you
the conversations the conversations in locker rooms, the conversations in locker rooms were about each other and all that. Not how much. Not how much. Oh, he's making this. I'm getting screwed. He should make this, and that's where it's coming to.
A lot of turmoil for sure.
Well, and the worst part is, everybody like, I'll make more there. So I'm second string here. I'm more there.
Grass isn't always greener.
For sure.
Grass isn't always greener.
And we had Winston on way back. Like, are you really making more money there?
Right.
Or you just think you are?
For sure. And it was kind of fun too, being with the boys and going through the struggle. Like during summer, you're not getting really anything, and you're out and you're with your boys, and you guys are broke and trying to find a way.
Loading the hatchback, trying to find a way to the next Del Taco.
Yeah. And those are memories I'm never gonna forget.
Absolutely.
Like it was awesome.
When you guys went to Danny's wedding, that's what you're talking about.
Well,
I didn't get to go.
So
but
shout out
I know
Danny
you're saying. Yeah. Shout out Danny for sure, brother. Congrats.
Danny Cantrell got married. I think Ben Weaver got married this weekend. I mean, the list goes on, and I apologize for who I've missed.
Yeah.
But
Bolshon got married,
Jake
Ezra got married, Eric
John
Cavano got married.
Collingham, Modster. Shout out to all these guys, because that's part of the experience here is because you're not just here for a paycheck, you make real relationships and you find special people, and
for sure.
I think that's a big deal. So
because even like before I even got to Boise State, Andrew Van Buren had texted me, and he was the only person I talked to before I got to Boise State, and I lived with him for 3 years and still talk to him every day. Like
which is a big deal coming from Florida.
Crazy. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We didn't really cover your next week. We'll maybe hit Riley's European trip.
Oh, that's right. That was a sweet trip.
Shout
out Mac and Kay Connie, Spike. Great boy.
Kay Connie at 220.
Hit beat Riley in a marathon. Shout out to offensive linemen for all you fans that are still with us. Kakani beat Riley in a marathon. Thank you. Shout out to Kakani.
We got a lot of different company stuff. I don't know about the Lou Finucci beat down by Jay Swilly. That's a new one. I think that's just probably a rumor.
Yeah.
Grass is usually greener. Yep. What else we got? We got guy very concerned with the tight end reps.
Austin Terry. I love talking about Terry.
Austin Terry, like he's gonna be on there.
Yeah.
We talked about this the other night, but Austin Terry, like he might not have unbelievable stats, but he's gonna be key contributor
yeah.
to the offense.
I was talking to him last night, and he said he might already have to be in the cowboy collar like me. He said all those rims.
You just talk about a guy that like
grow a pair,
lay it on the line. Lay it on the line, be a tough guy.
Yeah.
Like he's going to do it. He's going to do whatever he takes.
For sure.
Embrace your role.
So he's going to have a star in your role. Like that's what he's going to do. And again, I mean, he might have 30 catches. He might have 3 catches.
Right.
Hell, I have no idea, but there's more to it than that.
He could be the next flat master like Stoney.
And when they're in the playoff, he'll be real happy.
Oh,
no doubt.
Sure.
No doubt.
For sure.
And Austin's never ever going to ask about anything.
Yeah.
Connor.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're having a blast. We're gonna do this every Tuesday. We'll have fun. Send your questions in.
For sure.
We probably got a minute to close it down, but
definitely send them throughout the week.
Brad
too.
might be here more often than not. You never know. We'll be around watching practice here occasionally.
Yep.
But Riley, what else you got?
Absolutely. That's really it for this show. I mean, Coach Bedell, appreciate you for coming on.
No, absolutely.
We're definitely going to have you on more and tell a lot more
like
great
we said,
stories.
At some point we might open it up to stories that shouldn't be told.
Yeah, we'll see.
Little
see how
teaser,
deep we can go,
there.
Sure. Yeah.
Start that show at 9. Like HBO Max,
Late
like we were
night hours.
kids late at night. Scrambled TVs. Well, they know what I'm talking about, Rick.
It'll be good. It'll be good. But
aren't they all the same? I mean, shit.
But yeah, definitely stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot of great guests throughout fall camp, especially.
We'll definitely hit Riley's tour through Europe.
Yeah.
With Matt Griffin.
Yeah. Some of the old football boys.
Yep.
But we'll have a lot of people on and a lot of great stories. And just throughout the week too, you can hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, asking questions, and we'll make sure we get those topics answered.
Please do that. Like hit us up during the week. Like if you got a topic you want to hear about, hey. And we'll be honest, there's a lot of stuff that's we're just not going to talk about.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
And a lot of it has to do with what's going on the field right now.
Yeah,
we're more than happy to talk about most of the stuff that happened before, not all. But these guys are out there; they're competing their ass off, they're having fun, and the coaches know way more about it than anybody else, except the players. Right. Those are the only guys that know almost as much as the coaches.
Right.
And so anything you read, whether it's, and I don't mean to degrade BJ or Jay Tust or whoever, but those guys are reporting highlights. They're not reporting like the ins and outs of every rep and every play.
I mean, when they talked about 6 interceptions in one day.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, to me that has literally no bearing.
None.
The coaches know a little bit more about what went into that.
Yeah.
Start worrying about that in 2 weeks. Not right now.
Yeah. And so that's not really our focus. Our focus is probably more to give you behind the scenes, some stories, little fun time. Yeah. Will we hit on some of that stuff at some point? Absolutely. But we're just here having a good time and hoping that you guys come along for that. And very thankful to Jackson's for sponsoring it. Be ready to go get your hot dogs on a Sunday after sack, your breezy bundles.
Good incentives.
Phenomenal supporters, awesome Idaho company, huge, to our economy. Like let's take care of those guys, go out and support them. So thank you. And I'll let you guys close it out.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I mean, we'll see you guys next week. We're doing it every Tuesday at 8 p.m. We'll probably be at the James next week as well. But just keep staying tuned, keep asking questions, and we'll bring more stories and more fun about football for you guys.
Appreciate you having me.
Yes,
it's a lot of fun. This is the important things about college football.
Absolutely.
We'll see next week who we can come up with.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Bowens might be right around the corner.
Yeah.
You never know.
That would be great. No doubt. Yes, sir. All right. As always, go Broncos. We appreciate you guys.
Go Bronco.